Okay, so I was able to get OBS up in just a few minutes, so let's try this out. So I'm doing an experimental thing. So I'm a big fan of draft sim, and I always do like test drafts here. I wanted to record some content of doing some drafts using draft sim and just kind of like, I don't know, walk through sets, just kind of do kind of phony drafts of them, see how it goes. Dominaria United is just basically coming out this weekend for pre-release, so I want to give this a few drafts. And also try a sealed. I might do more of these, going back to some older sets just for fun. So let's give it a roll. Let's start with the draft. All right, that's a pretty good card to open first pick. Just get rid of some of these ads real quick. So yeah, Draft Sim sorts things by rare, the uncommons, and they'll put the foil in the back. Let's get a better view of what we got. So obviously Karn. Planeswalkers are always good. I don't know how I feel about this one though. One of those cards in your hand and the rest at the bottom. So it can draw you some cards. It can ramp. I still think it's fine. It's colorless. It goes in any deck I'm going to draft and lets me stay open. I'm not hyper familiar with all the cards in this format yet. I know I've been paying attention to previous season. I've seen some gameplay, but definitely have to stop and read some of these. Nothing standing out is immediately like, oh my god, I need this. Look at the top card of your library. It's a land you may put on the battlefield. If you didn't, that's fine. These are all fine. I'm not seeing anything that's like bananas. Yeah, it's take card. Alright, so we had a foil Rootwalla. I'm moderately familiar with the stuff that's going on in this format. So there's Kicker, there's Spells Matter, there's Domain, there's Aggro. What I'm seeing here, target who gains haste can attack as though it didn't. There's a defender deck that's also reasonable. That's not bad. I suppose if you're going to go into Defender Tribal, you could start early. I think Bite Down's the better card here. Just an instant fight or punch spell. Thank you. Draft Sim. Draft Sim has some ads, but they're not. They usually pop up a few times once you first start using it, so we shouldn't see these happening a ton. Rona's Vortex isn't too bad. Removal spell and Demir or Unsummon. Alright, there's a lot of legends in this format, and they all do different things. They're usually kind of a mix between efficient and not efficient. Powers and the number of land cards in your graveyard. So it's probably going to be an 05 for the most part. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card. You may put that card in your, so you can start milling yourself, and you can sack lands. That seems pretty reasonable. Black Green's a little hard to cast, though. This Power Stone doesn't add colors, does it? Nope, just colorless. You can add... Emblem can be pretty brutal here, especially since you've been upticking on him. Yeah, I'm just going to take... this is the more fun pick. This is the correct pick over the fun pick. I think this is just reasonable on its own, and it lets me stay open, so let's go with that. I think a 1-mana 1/3 defender that can attack as a 3/3 is a-okay. Target creature with defender. Yeah, it can hit itself. It's good. Alright, we got a sweeping pile of stuff here. Extinguish the Light still in the set. So important to note about Draft Sim is that when a set first comes out, I think it takes some time for the system it uses that determines the priority of picks to catch up once people start using it. It doesn't take terribly long, but you might see some weird picks that are still in the pack late, which can happen in regular drafts too. It's hard to see anything else in this pack that I'm interested in. Sprouting Goblin's very good in a multicolored deck, domain deck. These X cost X less for X is something stupid. It seems really good. A lot of the commons and uncommons are pushing this up, but I like the 4-mana rule as well. Let's take that. Plus, it's the first colored card I've taken so far. Ooh, a defender. Anything else in this pack that excites me? Another defender, but I like this defender. Oh my god. 2 mana for a 3/3 defender that just beams your opponent for 1 at bare minimum every turn. For 3 mana's a lot, but if you have multiple defenders, it's gonna just end games. Yeah. Let's see if we can do the defender deck. Then I say that, and there's no defender in the pack. This seems more like a build around if you already have a lot of merfolk. I don't know how well these tribal cards play in the format. I noticed at least with the soldier one, I haven't seen a lot of soldiers. The soldiers are mostly tokens. Not really a ton of the creature. And there's probably some number of merfolk, but there's probably not a ton of them. Like, you have to either force it or get lucky. So the black card here is a 2 mana 3/2 that hits me for 2 when it comes into play. Otherwise, Scout the Wilderness might not be too bad if I'm going defenders. I want to go multicolor. Impulse is fine. Hammerhand's good in removal or aggro deck. Yeah, let's grab the Toxic Abomination. Combat trick. Looks like if there were a paper draft, I'd say green-black is probably my colors based on what's open here. Exile up to 1 target artifact, creature, enchantment, land. Wow. That seems good, because you can hit your own stuff. And I already have all of those but an enchantment. So you're trading out, you're not necessarily trading up, and you need to have multiples of each of those types, so the Planeswalker doesn't do anything, because I'm probably not getting another Planeswalker. It's probably overrated. I'm happy to be proven wrong, but I think I'm eyeing one of these 2 cards here. Let's take the Scout. That allows me to stay open to 3 colors if I need to. Alright, getting low enough that I'll just keep my picks exposed here. This is a reasonable fixer. This does something kind of broken late. This allows me to stay open. Oh, another defender. Yeah, 2 mana 2/4 defender. Let's go that. I always like these effects that return creatures to your graveyard to your hand. They're black's card draw. In cases they don't always have card draw. A lot of reading in this format. And it's easy to dismiss cards with Kicker if they don't have a color that you're playing, because I don't know if I'm playing blue or red. And without Kicker, these are not as good. Monstrous Warleech can get pretty big, even if you don't mill yourself. It could also be a 0/0 if you don't have a graveyard. And Baldivian Atrocity just does the reanimation in red thing, where you get it for 1 turn and then it gets exiled. I like Arboric Possession. Oh, we got a defender. I think white is a potential 3rd color, but if I can just go defender tribal and stay in 2 to 3 colors, that'd be great. Speaking of card draw in black, I don't think I want another Toxic Abomination. You think a 2 mana 3/2 with some minor downside would be good. I remember it wasn't as good in Nuka Penna. The one that came into play tapped was the downside, and it still was only okay. I'm going to take the card draw. Basically, I'm out of black at this point. Makes a horse. It does the aristocrat thing. I like Battle Rage Blessing. It allows me to block and keep my wall. Yeah, might as well keep it defensive. These are fine. I'll take it for rare, and I'll take another thing. Okay. Pack 2. Got a land. The lands seem more important for, Jesus, 3 lands. Seem more important for domain decks and multicolor decks. Scoping out any defenders. Not seeing anything. Silver Scrutiny seems fine. Terra Sunder. I think I want the Terra Sunder. Just a removal spell for 4 mana in my colors. Hits any non-land permanent. Yeah, I'll take Terra Sunder. Blight Pile. Another dual land. I wouldn't mind this for coming back, but I probably wouldn't. Seems like the lands are a high priority in this format. I'll take the Blight Pile. Yeah, going like a mono black walls deck. That seems kind of interesting. I've done this draft sim a few times already, and I had some like a blue-white spells deck and some kind of 4-color domain pile. There's a lot of beefy creatures. I'll take the beefy creature. Whenever one or more other creatures die, put a 1/1 counter on the Connoisseur. I don't really know how wall decks particularly play out. These have win conditions built onto them. And card draw. Self Defender, no. Maybe I take this one. Go 3 colors. Nothing else in this pack seems super interesting to me. Connoisseur is fine. Not playing those 2 colors. Removal spell in red. Artillery Blast. Wall in blue. And it doesn't really synergize with what I'm doing. I think I'm going to take the removal spell. I think I could reasonably play Abzan, and there's a reason to play Abzan. However, a wall fixer is better than a card that only rewards me for hitting players, which I'm not often going to do with defenders, so never mind. I'll take the wall that fixes. It's just fixed, doesn't it? The top 6 cards, you may reveal land and put it into your hand. Alright, so it can help fix a little bit. I like the defender here. Either I'm going to find Defender Tribal annoying or fun, or both. I don't know. Alright, so we have some interesting choices here. Search your library for 2 lands that each have a basic land type on the battlefield tap. So it's a 5-mana ramp spell. Put one on top here. And then finds you a card and puts on top of your library. That seems fine. This seems really important for the domain deck specifically, but this, if you remove the kicker part of it, is just 2 mana, -2/-2. Deathbloom Gardener seems good too, though. I'll take the actual removal. I'll take the beef. I'll take the Broken Wings for the sideboard. This type of card, I think this is the best version of a Naturalize and a Plummet. I love having one of these in my sideboard. I'm always a fan of Disenchants. So you don't know what you're going to encounter. Take the Scry on Death. I'll take the Fixer. This and this. Alright, final pack. Urza assembles the Titans. Can help me find Urza. Or Karn, not Urza. What else we got here? Love Song of Night and Day. You probably skipped the first chapter in this a lot. Unless you're trying to mill your opponent out or something. That seems fun. Alright, so I'm not seeing any defenders. I think I'm just going to take the bite down here. A lot of my defenders have some power to them, so seems fine. Another Gibbering Barricade. I wonder how many of these I actually want. Otherwise, hand in the survey. A little card's a little hard to splash when white is a light splash for me. I think I might actually take the Deathbloom Gardener here to help fix my colors, and I do have to be aware that I can pick up some creature fodder for this too. Yeah, let's take the Deathblow Gardener for fixing. Another Blight Pile. Good lord. Just having 2 of these in play and 6 mana is just a huge clock. Yeah, these seem like high priority kill targets. Urborg Lurgoyf. Number of creature cards. Shield Wall Sentinel. I like this. Search your library for a creature with a defender. Yep, weird defender tribal. A lord. Yep, I'm taking that. Lords are always good. Anthems are good. The World Spell. Look at the top. 7 mana, 7 cards. Seems a little expensive for what I'm trying to do. Take another Scour. This fixes. This fixes. Weather Sea Treaty. Seems I'd rather have the defender. I think I just maximize my defenders and just kind of win with one of my 3 blight piles. And then have some big beefy creatures on the top end in case that plan fails. Lurgoyf, Stalker, and Furious Dude. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole draft. Interesting. I wouldn't have suspected a 2 or 3 color defender deck in Abzan. You'd think that what I've seen so far, a lot of the defenders are in blue, or they seem to be pretty spread out. That's the 5 colors. I don't know which ones are in red. I'd be interested to find out. Let's do another draft. Okay. So first pick here is kind of a raspberry. We had a foil, Protect the Negotiators, which is a counter spell that can also make a 1/1. Stall for Time seems like a good tempo card. Prayer Binding. That is an O-ring for 4 mana. That is probably the pick. It's single color, universal removal spell. Tatiova. These legends are going to be so hard for me to evaluate because it's like their casting cost is difficult. They do different things. They're so... Turns your lands into creatures with haste. A 3/3 flyers with haste. She seems good, yeah. Let's take the prior. Alright. Haven't picked a white spell. I have a fixing land, fixing creature, another legend. Power and toughness equal the number of creatures. Creature tokens. Oh, so she makes an additional 1/1 whenever you make tokens. So she's kind of a token lord lady. What else in this pack is good? Argivian Phalanx is good. It's kind of a high-end finisher for an aggro deck. It comes down to like turn 3 or 4 sometimes. 4 probably. I think 3 would be ambitious. You'd need to have, what, 4 creatures out already? 3 creatures out already? I can do math. 3 creatures by turn 3 is possible, but difficult. I think this is fine. I want to give this a shot. Alright, so say we're leaning green-white. Herbalist, Phoenix Chick, Gardener. Seems like you only really want this in a 4 or 5 color deck. Or a ramp deck. Seems really good. This seems good in the go wide, because you make a big flyer every time your creatures come into play. I like this one a lot. I feel like a 2/1's going to trade down a lot, but attacking, gaining life, and scrying every turn, especially if it doesn't trade, is good. Let's take the Griffin. It synergizes more with what I'm trying to do. Love Song of Night and Day. Should work with any tokens? Creature tokens, okay. This is good as a kind of a go-wide closer, but I like this. 3 mana and make a 2/2 and put a 1/1 counter on another one of your creatures. Let's do that. Llanowar Stalker is really good, especially on 1, because you can make it a 3 or a 4 power creature sometimes. I'm going to take the Phalanx this time, though. Captain's Call. Just kind of glancing over everything else in the pack. Yeah, Captain's Call. Faith Bonder. I don't know how good Enlist is going to be. I think this can attack. It's going to be so hard to sequence the curve for this, because it's like you can't use a creature with Summoning Sickness. I think it would be too good if you could. It would need to be balanced a little bit better if you could. But you need to have a 2-drop. You need to play this on 2. Like, you're attacking by like turn 4 with this with Enlist, unless you have a 1-drop. That 1-drop's probably only gonna have 1 or 2 power. I suppose if you played that green creature and then played another creature on turn 3 after you played this. Very aggressive. Not really a ton of options in this pack. A 3/2 with Ward 2, who cares? You're just gonna block this with a 2/2. Or one of the big ass walls in this format. Yeah, let's take Ben Elish, Faith Bonder. I like Essence Scatter. That's always been proven to be good. This is good in blue back. Take the bird. Pretty much mono white at this point. Like, if I had to pivot away from green, I think that's perfectly reasonable. Take Stall for time. Might be blue white. I don't know. Let's take the Stalker. Probably not playing black. Good closer. Okay, so we're still probably green, white. Next pack, we open a creature with removal stapled onto it, if it was kicked. Otherwise, it's just a 3-mana flash 2/2 flyer. That's not the worst. Shadowrite Priest. Other clerics get +1/+1. Soldier. I need the Soldier Lord. There's a cleric. Bird. Enchantment. This most likely isn't going to do too much. I think I'd rather just take the reliable flash 2/2 flyer. If this were paper, I would snap this up, but yeah, let's take the 2/2 flyer. Alright, so we have a legend in green-white. Whenever it becomes tapped, put a 1/1 counter each creature you control with toughness less than the number of basic lands. So if only planning to play 2 colors, they would need to be 1/1 counters. So which I already make some. Not seeing anything else in this pack that's super exciting. This seems good in an aggro go-wide deck, probably. Throw a possibility, who cares? Yeah, I'll take the legend. Another Shadowrite Priest. They work well in multiples. Someone is probably going to have a good cleric deck, but it's not going to be me, because I'm taking Captain's Call. Scout the Wilderness. No, Captain's Call. Alright, green-white uncommon. Defender tribal creature in white. Another Argivian Phalanx, but 5 mana for a 3/4 flyer is good. If you can kick it for 7, it's a 5/6 flyer. I don't mind this as a top end. I'll take that. Another one. Another one, thank you. Temporary Lockdown. That screws my deck more than anyone else's, probably. So we're going to take the flash alarm, raise the alarm with a body. Another Captain's Call. If I'm going to keep playing these Captain's Calls, I need some way to make my tokens bigger. The Herbalist is good. Faith Bonder. Protection spell, beef, flyer, 1/1, temporary lockdown. Okay. Oh, got some options. Oh. Let's maximize. Alright, Herd Migration. 7 mana, create a 3/3 for each basic land. So if I'm only going 2 colors, it's 7 mana, make 2 3/3s. It's not so good, but I can discard it, search my library for a basic. Another domain creature, another big creature. No green wetlands. Clockwork Drawbridge seems fine. 3 mana to tap is kind of high though. 2 mana is probably where you want to be for a good tapper, but 3 mana is, that's a lot of mana. I'll take the Herd Migration. I don't know if I'm gonna play 3 colors, but yeah, I suppose this 1-drop can trade up a lot, but against other token decks it doesn't do that much. Do I have anything good in black? Not really. I'll take another Take Up the Shield. I'll take another Phalanx. That's a good payoff for going wide with tokens. A bit of a payoff. Ooh, there we go. Yes, we need that. Creature Lord makes a 1/1. Yeah, it just seems like a busted ass card. Now we'll take the Tapper. Tappers are good in aggro decks. Don't want 2 of them, but I will take the Situational Removal spell. Seems like a good 2-drop. Pump spell, 1-drop. Flyer, 2-drop. Seems fine on curve, unless I want another one of these. Yeah, I think I'll take one of those. Surprisingly, equipment can be good in token go wide decks because you slap the equipment on, swing in with a 3/1, and then just trade up sometimes, so I might play it. Alright, that's another draft down. Pretty solid green-white go-wide tokens deck with some good bomby cards in that strategy. Let's switch it over to a sealed. So one gripe I kind of have about draft sim is that it does have the ability for you to build sealed, but it's not super intuitive. It's not like building your sealed pool on Arena. But we're gonna make do. So I'm gonna do what I always do when I ever open the sealed pool and see what my rares are. All right, sorting by rarity. Urtai is good in those 2 colors, and that it can answer a threat. It does let your opponent draw a card, so it's not a perfect answer, but you know it's flash 3/2. It can also block too, so flash block. Soldier Lord, 5 mana for 4/4 Vigilance, first strike, lifelink. That seems busted. Hadi Jin seems good if you have some spells going on. Squeeze seems obnoxious to deal with. Has Escape, basically. 4 of the cards. So I'm liking what I'm seeing in white so far. 2 Queen Alanals. Some good green-black. Green-white fixer land. A lot of the meat of the deck is at common, so it's like, what are my good cards in the colors at common? So in white we have some removal spells, some white-black, another removal spell. Pretty mediocre for the most part. In blue we have some evasion. Blue seems pretty aggressive. I think a big indicator of what one of my 2 colors I want to use is it's not past the whole bread thing. Bombs obviously push you towards playing one of those colors, but removal and how plentiful it is pretty important. So Extinguish the Light. 4 Splatter Goblins, that's a disappointment. Warhorse is fine. Lightning Strike in red. Flowstone Infusion, I don't know how good that's going to be. I think you want to run 1, but maybe not 2 in the main board. Green, got some beef. Pump spell. I got green uncommon, Morrow, Survey. Could be a multicolor deck in here somewhere. I have some soldiers. Not much to make soldier tokens. This Lord only really helps soldiers. I don't think soldiers are in any other color. Maybe a little bit in green. Green with the white kicker. Like I know I have a lot of the payoffs for going like multicolor. Got a lot of ramp and fixing. Yeah, I think white's still pretty powerful. Just not a lot of removal. I don't think I have any removal in green either. And just some pump spells and the broken wings. Yeah, you kind of need removal, especially in sealed. And Queen Radek, or Rudak, or whatever it's called, Queen Alanal. She seems fine, but you have to be in the token stack. Otherwise, she's just kind of a big woman. Don't have a ton of I don't have a ton of incentive to go for a multicolor kicker deck. I don't think I have enough red to build the deck either as the second color. So I want to try to avoid going 3 colors then. I think I'm going to just try to build the best green-white I have available. So let's ditch all the non-green white cards. Now I know as I'm clicking these, I'm putting them in the deck section, but I feel splaying them out like this is easier to actually see them. Probably not playing this, might play that. Alright, let's sort by CMC. So we have 6, 11, 12, 13. We have a ton of cuts to make. Okay, so I don't want multiple snare spinners. I probably don't even want one. I think that card's a little iffy. Probably not playing multiple guys mites. Not a big fan of Slimefoot Survey in this deck, so I'll get rid of those. Definitely not playing Broken Wings in the main. Stall for time without the blue. Do a light blue splash for that, but still reasonable at 3 mana. It's just to tap 2 creatures and draw a card. Alright, the Banalish Sleeper without black. They are soldiers. This probably not as good without the blue. Alright, so we have 28 main deck cards. We have to make 5 cuts. I feel like splashing black is a reasonable thing to do here, because each player sacrifices a creature. Ugh. Get rid of the Terra Sunder. Get rid of one of the Banalish Sleepers. This doesn't count as a basic land type? No. Get rid of the Hydromancer. Like I said, I don't have a ton of removal. Chilly Blast hits X+1, so it can do up to 3 reasonably to a tapped creature. I don't have a ton of non-creature spells. 5, 6. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's keep those in. Just one more cut. Alright, let's cut a creature. Suppose we want to cut Llanowar Stalker. Yeah. It's going to be a 1-mana 1/1 most of the time. Yeah, I think that's the deck. I don't think I can reasonably have any good third color cards to bring in. Don't really have anything left in my primary colors that I'm interested in playing main board. Maybe bring out of the side for something. Nothing really in colorless I'm interested in. Yeah, just a green-white go-wide aggro deck with some late game potential. I suppose running a third color, I'd probably consider splashing. Because Territory Mario is just 5 mana for a 4/4 in 2 colors. It's not as good. Yeah, I think I'd play one Slimefoot Survey for black. It's 5 mana 6/6 is much better than a 5 mana 4/4. It's like a huge difference in playability. Then I'd have the black for Sleeper, or if I need to side in Terror Sunder for something. What would I cut for it then? Probably another creature. I don't like that. 2/5 enlist is just kind of meh. It has no other abilities, right? Where'd it go? Yeah, just 4 mana 2/5 enlist. Meh. Could attack in as like a 7/5 though. That doesn't seem too bad. But you have to tap another creature. It's very aggressive. And if you have something with 5 power, you probably just want to attack with that too. Alright, I guess that's the deck. So this is it. This is the... So I wanted to accomplish is try out some drafts, try out some sealed pool builds. Definitely be interested to watch this back to see if it's something worth continuing to do, but definitely recommend using Draft Sim too if you're somebody who drafts and just has a few minutes to kill. The website's pretty intuitive. It has some older formats all the way back to like Khans of Tarkir, I think, or so. But yeah, that's the recording.